Welcome back to week 4 of your Jersey Shore Boys recap show, brought to you, as always, by Team Merr. And this week 4 saw some of our bottom teams get a little more poor as far as their standings are concerned, and inversely so, some of our top teams, we saw them get a little richer. So as things start to shape up in the Jersey Shore Boys League, let's get right to it with your number 1 matchup of the week. And this matchup involves Team Ikia and Bub's Devils. Now this was a big victory for Team Ikia. 12-2 final. Team Ikia hit 9 home runs in the week, had 5 holds, an ERA under 4, and a whip of 1.43. Now, both these teams had ERAs under 4, but high whips over 1.4. Each team only striking out 34. Ikia had 1 save. Bub had 0. And on the individual highlight side, there's not really much going on. Team Ikia, Ben Zobers had 13 RBIs. That was capped by a 10 RBI day in which the Rays were in a doubleheader. On the pitching side of it, Dan Herron did not allow a run this week for Ikia. Scott Baker came in with a 2.84 ERA. And Jose Valverde also not allowing a run. On Team Bub's side, absolutely nothing to speak of on offense. Urban Santana pitched well for him. That's about it. So 12-2 the final, and Ikia absolutely beat down Team Bub. Your next matchup is yours truly, Jimmy Klein, against the New York Jets. Now, this was your closest match of the week, and we will call this your rivalry match of the week. 7-6 close final. Jimmy Klein comes out on top. This despite George taking the ERA and the whip category. Jimmy Klein struck out 63, though, while Team New York Jets struck out 61. Jimmy Klein came in with 9 saves. Each team had 2 holds. The teams combined for 14 home runs, but only 3 stolen bases. Jimmy Klein batted .289 with an .810 OPS. Neither team had more than 20 extra base hits. Not much to speak of for offense for Jimmy Klein. However, Felix Hernandez and Cliff Lee combined to strike out 31 batters. Josh Johnson continues his Cy Young campaign. However, Chris Narbison earned the cut, even though he struck out 9, an 11 ERA, and a 1.92 whip. He has earned himself a dismissal from Jimmy Klein. On the New York Jets side of it, Robinson Cano with 7 runs, 4 homers, 7 RBIs. Steven Drew with 5 runs, a homer, 8 RBI. Now only batting .208 though. Pitching-wise for George, Madison Bumgarner, of course, leave it to be playing against me for him to get back on track. He pitched well Sunday night. John Lester also pitching well. R.A. Dickey pitched well for the Mets. And Derek Lowe with 13 strikeouts. So George does not, though, come out on top. Jimmy Klein with a 7-6 victory, and moving, hopefully, further up the standings is Jimmy Klein. As we move on to the ugly matchups, this one involves Mags and Explosive Renteria. Now, Mags had a 10-3 victory here, but this was absolutely ugly. Except for Mags hitting 7 home runs, neither team stood out with anything on offense. Neither team batted above .256. Neither team cracked an 800 on the OPS side. Neither team had more than 30 RBI, no more than 29 runs. And on the pitching side, 3-5 wins and losses for Mags. 7 wins, 5 losses for Explosive Renteria, though. 88 strikeouts, keeping his ERA under 3.6 and a 1.27 whip to take both of those categories. No, I take that back. Mags did take ERA to 2.77. 5 holds for Mags. And Mags also surviving the bad performance of Gavin Floyd with a 5.14 ERA, even though he did strike out 15. With this is kind of an anomaly. He had a 5.14 ERA and a 1.00 whip. So Gavin Floyd kind of doing things all over the place for Mags. Trevor Cahill coming in with a good outing. Also, Matt Lidstrom pitching well for Mags. For Explosive Renteria, nothing to speak of on offense. However, he did get 12 strikeouts from James Shields, 14 from Justin Masterson, 12 from Jaime Garcia, and 17 strikeouts from Matt Garza. So a lot of strikeouts for Explosive Renteria. He totaled 88 on the week. That was your league high for strikeouts. Continuing with your ugly matchups, we move to Addie's Arsenal and Team Merr. Now This was a 8-6 victory for Addie's Arsenal. Not many highlights on either side here. 6 saves, though, for Campanella. Struck out 62. However, his ERA was above 4. His whip was almost 1.3. Each team only had 1 hold. Only 3 saves for Team Merr. Team Merr did hit 10 home runs, 9 stolen bases. Let's look at the individual numbers. Shinsu Chu coming through for Brad Campanella. 5 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBI, 2 stolen bases. Batted .409. Billy Butler and Brian Roberts also combined for 8 runs, 1 homer, 7 RBI, 2 stolen bases. With Brian Roberts only batting .217 with a .626 OPS, not going to do you any favors. On the pitching side for Brad, Tommy Hansen struck out 10. Jorge De La Rosa struck out 9. Those guys averaged about a 1.00 ERA. Each of them had a whip under 1. Chris Young struck out 10 for Campanella, 2.31 ERA. However, Carl Pavano and Brett Anderson, who's Brett Anderson, Brad? Each posted an ERA over 10. On Team Merr's side, Drew Stubbs, the only standout for Merr. 6 runs scored, 4 stolen bases. However, he struck out 11 times. Did bat .296, though. CC Sabathia continues to pitch well. Wade Davis also turning in a good performance for Team Merr. However, Aaron Harang posted a 12 ERA. Ubaldo Jimenez continues to slip here in the early start of the season. He had a 9 ERA and a 2.50 whip. Again, this was Addie's Arsenal. Brad Campanella coming up and beating Team Merr 8-6. Your next matchup is Morgan's Marauders and the Justin's Credibles. We continue the theme of ugly fantasy play here. This was an 11-4 victory for Mugen. However, not much to speak of on the offensive side for either one of these teams, except for Mugen hitting 10 home runs. Neither team batted over .252. Neither team had an OPS above 7.5. They did combine for 13 stolen bases. However, Justin only posted 23 runs and had 21 home runs. On the pitching side of it, 6-5 was Justin's record against a 4-3 record for Mugen, so they split those categories. 59 strikeouts for Mugen gives them that. Each team had a complete game. 3 saves for Mugen gives them that category. Mugen with a 3.15 ERA and 3 holds gives them both those categories. Jay Bruce posted a good week for Mugen. Also, Asdrubal Cabrera had 5 runs and stolen base, batted .300 at an OPS of .917. So helps out there. He did get 4 extra base hits from Miguel Cabrera. Pitching-wise, Jared Weaver continues his dominance, gave him the complete game, 10 strikeouts. 11 strikeouts for Matt Cain as he maybe gets back on the ball. And on the Justin Credible side, not one highlight to speak of on offense nor pitching. And the final matchup of the week is the Evil Empire and the Philadelphia Fags. Now, this was a 9-6 victory for the Philadelphia Fags. A lot of power in this matchup. Evil Empire with 9 home runs, the Fags with 8. 6 stolen bases for the Evil Empire. Only 1 stolen base there. Philadelphia Fags only striking out 33 times with a .302 batting average, gives both those categories. Also 1 OPS with .875, 25 extra base hits for the Philadelphia Fags, gives them all those categories. On the pitching side, the Fags get 10 wins and only 6 losses, gets both those categories to him. The Evil Empire going 5-7. Philadelphia Fags did get a complete game. That did come from Jared Jurgens, and the Fags posted 3.73 ERA given that category. Wins whip at 1.41. Did not get saves. Evil Empire took saves and strikeouts. On the individual side, Adam Lynn with 10 RBIs for the Evil Empire, 4 homers. He gets 7 runs and 2 home runs from Grady Sizemore, who also batted .318 and a 1.148 OPS. Big numbers there. Neil Walker also batting .320 for the Empire. Pitching-wise, for Maglio, 11 strikeouts from Bud Norris. He's got to be happy with that. Jonathan Sanchez with 7 strikeouts. Michael Pineda with 9 strikeouts. And Maglio getting rid of Oswald, Ryan Dempster, Freddie Garcia, and Matt Harrison all this week as he continues his onslaught on the limitation of roster moves. Philadelphia Fags have no offensive highlights to speak of. Maybe Prince Fielder hitting 3 home runs is worth mentioning, but only batted .217. Pitching-wise for the Philadelphia Fags, Gio Gonzalez struck out 12. However, he had a .463 ERA and a .137 whip. Not doing any favors there. John Lackey pitched well, though did take a loss. Zach Britton went 2-0 this week. Kyle Drabeck not pitching well, 8.64 ERA. However, Randy Wolf continues to be serviceable. He had a 1.29 ERA and a WHIP of .86. So that is how they shaped up. Your get richer team Ikia, the Mugen teams beating down their opponents. They're stretching their lead on the rest of the league. The middle of the pack seems to condense and get together a little bit, and you have your teams at the bottom who lost a lot of ground this week. So that's your Week 5 wrap-up brought to you by Team Merr. We thank everybody for listening, and we will see you out